George Will in the Washington Post wrote a brilliant op-ed about, well, the thinking of our president. We have on Bloomberg View this morning an absolute must-read. I'll put this out on Twitter 5 or 6 times today. This is spectacular from the science writer Faye Flam. Let's get to it. Not so the president. When asked to explain something, he changes the subject, his confidence in his knowledge unwavering. The effect describes the way people who are the least competent at a task often rate their skills as exceptionally high because they are too ignorant to know what it would mean to have the skill. It's called Dunning-Kruger effect, and it's the real deal, and it's really being talked about with our president. He does not have Dunning-Kruger effect. Kevin Cirilli has added huge value for us, our chief Washington correspondent. Kevin, let's go right to the day. Are we going to see a new FBI director today?
Well, we're going to see it sometime this week. Whether or not President Trump decides to name whoever he is going to appoint to the FBI remains to be seen. But I can tell you that the pressure is mounting in the Senate for there to be some type of quick resolution to what has completely turned upside down his ability to get through legislative priorities.
Right. Within your reporting, will he go with a senator political, or will he go with a grizzled pro?
I can tell you that there's increasing pressure for him to go with the grizzled pro. And then when you talk to aides to some of these lawmakers who have been critical of President Trump in the past in the Republican Party, but who have publicly supported him on the firing of Director Comey, they seemingly would suggest that perhaps some of the reasoning that they were backing the president on this controversial decision was because they wanted influence and his ear in who he would appoint as a successor.
The other backstory for a Monday morning, Mr. Cirilli, is the idea of he's had it with his team. He's going to clean the house. We're even seeing cabinet officers like Secretary Ross singled out for underperforming. Is it going to be Mr. Spicer, Commander Spicer, and the others, or is this guy really going to clean cabinet officers out?
I'm not so sure about the cabinet, but I can tell you that this is reminiscent of during the campaign when there was several shakeups throughout the campaign. There were 3, mind you, replacements for campaign manager. And it seemingly would suggest that every now and then when there is this type of increased pressure, President Trump likes to reset the narrative. This could be an opportunity for him to do it.
Kevin, he's also traveling. President Trump is traveling for the first time since he's gone to office. So he's going to the Middle East. I know you'll be following him there. Will that be a distraction, or will that be something that actually he needs desperately to be seen as, seen abroad with wins at home?
A little bit of both. I think Francine, that his first stop will be in Saudi Arabia. Of course, there's going to be intense discussions about energy policy and also potentially the Paris Accord agreement. And where he stands on that, it'll be interesting to see if there's any new developments on that front.
Yeah, what do you make of the G7? So we heard from Steve Mnuchin. He seemed to suggest that actually world leaders are trying to understand the Trump administration and, in fact, do understand the Trump administration a little better now.
Yeah, I actually, Francine, would note that for all of the chaos in Washington inside the Beltway last week, markets seemingly were unrattled by all of the controversy. So perhaps Secretary Mnuchin is correct on that point in the sense that investors seemingly are less frazzled than they were during the campaign.